Hi everyone, it's Christina, and today we're doing episode 19 of Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, and the prompts today are either a winter owl or a snowy owl and a belly band, so because we're adding stuff from junk journals. So I thought that I would work on the background today and the belly band and then see what size I need for the either snowy owl or winter owl, because I think I'm going to try and get them all on one. So I'm just getting some of my indigo dyed sheets, plus this is from an old tea towel. Recycle. Love it. And I wanted to, I've still got some of these little bits of quilt left, and I just love this part. It's all the ripped old I guess this is from the maybe 40s, 50s maybe, from Lisa Maddock, and it's this old beautiful sackcloth stuff which I still haven't managed to get my hands on any of, so one day. Anyway, I'm going to pin this down for my background, and I will probably stitch it. Now, so one of the issues I have with my book when it comes to a belly band works really well because it's usually loose and it moves, or it's right down the middle and you can tuck something in. The problem with mine is that all of these are going to go back. Mine are going to be on one big long sheet with backing, so they'll all be tied down or sewn down, and there won't be anywhere for them to, to have a belly band that moves. So what I'm going to do is make a pseudo belly band. I'll show you what I mean. So a belly band generally, I wonder if maybe I'll just go and get one sec. Right, so this is the junk journal I made on the 30-day. There's a 30-day junk journal for beginners. You'll find it on a playlist. So this is pockets. I know some of you will know this and some might not. These are just little added clip-ons and pockets, but where's the belly band? I know there is one. So generally a belly band will go all the way around a page, so you could slip in on two sides. This one I've tucked under the page and tucked under and glued it down, and so it's just a little spot that you can slide in and out. So I guess there's a few different ways of doing a belly band, but that way that I did a belly band, I don't think there are any others. So mostly they're extra, they're pockets. Everything's pockets. Yeah, pockets. Oh, here's one. So even with this one, I've done it the same. Instead of having it going all the way around, I've stuck the edges down and put it in. So that's sort of what I'm thinking of doing for this, because the backing is not, it's not available, I guess, in a way, for that sort of movement. I could be wrong. Maybe it would work. But that's what I was thinking I'd like to do today. So that's the most important thing, isn't it? What do you want to do? Right, so pin this down. What I will do will be either Cantha stitch or like Rachel did on hers this week, just the invisible stitch. I kind of like the look of that. It's nice to have two different stitches that you can use. All right. And I also had a thought with this from last week, because it's loose, that it could actually be attached to the belly band. but however I've still got to find room for the owl, so I'm not thinking that's going to work for this week. I found this bit of upholstery fabric, which I just love this edge, and I want to use that as a belly band. So I'm thinking that, yeah, so belly bands can go this way or that way. I mean, technically it may not be called a belly band if it's this way, because it implies it goes across the belly, doesn't it? But I'm having a picture in my mind. Let me have a look. I mean, it could go. I'm just making, I don't want a wide one, but I'm just thinking I could have something going across here, and then I could actually slip this in like so. Oh, I don't mind that. It does cover up a lot of this, and I have been thinking a little bit about the bird going here, and so that might, this is reminding me a little bit of a nest, so I am thinking of the bird being here, so that would be the dimension of the bird. So if I'm tucking this in, I guess I can pull it down here, and there's still that there, and then this area will be a little bit, maybe a little bit blank. But let's work on this. So I had imagined it being like this. No, I think I still like that, just because I like to, okay, so this way, there's a lot of just nothing up here, and I need to fill in here. This way, this can tuck in, but also the bird goes here, so there's stuff going on. It's not, you know, like a big wide open space. And I can even add something down here if I want. So I think that's what's happening. So I'm going to stitch this background down. I'm going to use this. Am I going to use the old favourite? Probably. I just love it. You know the drill. I wonder if I did a bit in this. Maybe not up there. Well, I might start a bit of red down here, because I do add a little bit of red to my pages. Let's see how it looks if it's done. Let's tie a knot first. That helps. The only thing is, I think this might be the last bit of this red thread, so I'm going to start it up here. And then if it's just a line, very small little stitch. If it's only one line, then it's just a feature, isn't it? So I don't want it to be invisible. I want to see a little bit like that. I should think about ruling it. But then it wouldn't be beautifully handmade if it was just ruled, would it? So here we go. And then, so I'm not going to do it all on camera, I'll do it off. So then, that is a bit wibbly wobbly. My finest work is the most wibbly wobbly. What if I mix it up? I don't always mix up the actual sewing down bit. I might do, this is what I might do. A row of white under the row of red, and then the rest down there in the variegated soft muted, and that's just a little bit of a feature. Alright, that's what's happening with that, and that'll be the background. Now I've got this belly band. Alright, so hopefully this rips. Oh, I love it. Oh, that's so good, so satisfying. And this also is a good good for peeling off. making it just as salvage-edgy, yes, that's a word, as the other side. And what I need to do is just work out which part of this do I want. Now, this is very spring-like, so here's another little ramble. While I was doing the Halloween Doomsday Challenge, I ended up with the character in the middle, and you can go and see it on the other channel, but the character in the middle was the bad person, and all around was the fairy forest. And the reason, and I was thinking about this during the week, how I couldn't get into it as a proper Halloween thing, because Halloween in Australia, we don't celebrate Halloween, really. It's not a thing. And we also are in the Southern Hemisphere, so Halloween for us is actually technically, if it's the, you know, the thing of the dead, Halloween is technically in March for us because it's an autumn festival. You know, it's celebrating the Day of the Dead, whatever, and that's autumn, and our autumn is March. So here it's spring, so it feels kind of weird. So I feel like my piece was a very spring-like piece for the Halloween Doomsday. So, oh well, just bad luck. That's how it goes. So I'm finding I'm favouring, so for this, even though this is a winter journal, I'm still favouring these spring-like colours because we're in spring. So I'm thinking of just totally messing up my own thoughts on this, making sure it's a bit more wintry. So what if this is like tucked over like that? And I know it's off to the side a bit, but don't forget when the book's open, it'll just be part of a long, long, long thing. And what if I don't use all of the, how much have we got up the top? What if, because I don't need it, the back of it, I don't need it tucked over the back. So what if we use as much of this top bit as possible and take out the more spring-like flowers? And then it will tuck under here like this. I can't do it right now because I can't sew it down till I've sewn the backing down. And that will be my vertical belly band. Here we go. And then that will tuck in there. And then my bird is going to go here. All right, so I'm going to continue on off camera with sewing the backing down and come back and sew this down. All right, I'm back doing the last little row of canthus stitch. I've gone all the way through with the alpaca, except for that one red line, and then I did actually 3 white or off-white antique white stitch lines. I'm just getting to the end of this one. And I actually was thinking a little bit about the owl and thinking about the wonky owl I did when I was doing Tamara's little painting class, Tamara Laporte. And I was thinking I might paint an owl and then come back and make it out of material. Right, so the belly band, I want a little bit of a side there so as it is different. Now if I'm going to slip this little postcard in there, I mean I could put other things of course. I don't have to have this whole thing open, but I will leave it because you never know, might find something else that I want to put in there. So I'm just going to do another, just a little, as tiny a stitch as possible along here to secure the top. plenty. Just making sure I'd picked up the back. So I could actually even do 2 rows of this to really get it down, just to make sure there's no fraying. Might try and just get this down without picking up any of the back there, because this will be hidden anyway. Just securing that edge down to this bit of material, but not trying to catch the front. Just cast off, and I'll just do the other end. Now, the most important thing for this end is going to be that we don't, stretch it. So we don't want this to pull like that. Okay, so it's not pulling when I flatten it down, but it's curling a little bit, but that's okay, because when this is sewn onto the backing underneath of the long bit, it'll sit flat. To pin that there out of the way, just to hold it in place, and then I can look on the back. Right, that's working. And just thread a bit more. Let's sew this one down. Just the same, little tiny stitches. And another row. And I think I'll do the same as what I did on the back of the top, just an extra precautionary stitch, so it'll probably still fray over time, I imagine, but it'll be sewn down. It might not fray actually, because if all the edges are all sewn down and there's some backing here, there's not going to be anything rubbing on that little bit, so it should be okay. I just would actually also like to take a moment right at the end to say thanks to all the people that comment on my little videos. It's really lovely, and I'm really, really grateful just to know you're there and for you to tell me what you're doing with your little project.